All right, today we are making a really good Scotch egg, and I'm going to show you how to make it really good. But it really just starts with having a farm fresh egg, a great quality sausage, really good seasoned breadcrumbs, preferably homemade, and a really high quality cooking fat that you're going to use to deep fry your egg in. All right, let's get making these things. Now, Scotch egg is about as humble of a food item as it gets, right? They're common in pubs over in England and Ireland. I serve it on my menu at the Black Swan in Asbury Park. It's really easy to make, but there's a few very important things you have to remember. First thing is your egg. The key is having a very soft boiled egg. You want that runny yolk when you cut that Scotch egg in half. So we're gonna cook the egg for 6 minutes. And then we got to give it enough time to chill to get that yolk reset and cold again. And then we're going to wrap it in a breakfast sausage. Now, traditionally, across the pond, they crust it in a what's called a Cumberland sausage, which the closest thing over here is breakfast sausage. It's just a highly seasoned pork sausage. Once we wrap the egg in the sausage, we're going to have to bread it in a herb breadcrumb. This is going to give it a very crunchy, crusty exterior. And that's really all there is to it. So I'm gonna just get right on down to business. So first thing is my eggs. Make sure you have a timer nearby. Don't guess this. You really wanna make sure that you're nailing it at 6 minutes. So I'm gonna start my timer now. Boom, in we go. Oh, one of my eggs was broken. That's why I always wanna cook more than one egg. Okay. Now we wait. All right, I got about 30 seconds left on my eggs. I lost 2 fallen comrades, so I only got 1 left, so I better not f it up. If you remember my last video about cooking lobster, whenever you're gonna shock something, meaning it's gonna go from boiling water into, you want that cooking process to stop, you gotta go immediately into cold, ice cold water, I should say. So I have my ice bath ready, and luckily this time I got a big enough bowl, so I should be all set. 3, 2, 1. And into the ice bath we go. All right, I'm gonna give that about 4 minutes in there to really, stop the cooking process. While my egg is chilling, I wanna get my my tabletop fryer together. So I'm gonna cook in beef tallow today. You could use any oil really. My stance on the seed oils, but if you're gonna use it, use peanut oil or avocado oil. Again, using beef tallow today, so I'm gonna get this hot. I'm gonna fry it at about 375, 350. All right, I'm gonna give my egg as much time as possible staying in that ice water. Again, it's a soft boiled egg. So when I go to crack it and peel it, it's just very delicate. So the colder it is, the firmer it's gonna be. It'll be easier to handle, as well as when I go to cook it, this way I'll have, the colder it is, the longer it will take to heat up that center, and it will, I'll reduce the risk of it overcooking. So again, while that's, hanging out in the ice plunge, I'm gonna go ahead and form my sausage. Now, again, the breakfast sausage. So all I did here is I took a bag and I, cut it. Really, this is just to be clean and sanitary. You don't really need this, but whatever. Here's a little trick. Whenever you're making meatballs or handling raw ground meat like that, wet hands, it won't stick to you. The protein won't stick to your hands. So I'm gonna take a nice meatball size portion. Again, I gotta go all the way around the egg with this. So something like that, and as you see, my hands are wet now, so it's not sticking to it. So anyway, so into the, open the bag up where I cut it. I'm just gonna flatten it out. You can do it with your hand. It doesn't have to be perfect. You want it as perfect as you can get it, but it doesn't have to be super. And you want it to be about a 1/4 inch thick. And you'll see why. If you hear little chirping, it's my children over there snacking on today's recipes. So don't mind them. All right, so there you go. So that's what we're looking for, all right? about 5 inches because I want to go all the way around the egg. And you'll see, I'll tighten that up. And that'll be that. All right, so let that chill there. I'm done with the sausage. All right, so as you know, I cooked 3, but I only ended up with 1 egg. I guess 2 of them were cracked, so no pressure, just better not f one up. So when I want to peel an egg, you don't want to scratch and pick and pick and pick and pick and pick. You want to get it off as in much of one piece as you can. Fresh eggs are important, as is getting it right in the ice water. So crack the bottom, crack the top. Look at that, see? And then boom. Now, delicately, I should be going into bowl. Yes, I don't like making a mess if I don't have to. Whoop, see, delicately. Like I can feel that egg is still soft on the center there, which is exactly what I want. Delicate hands. Treat it nice, it'll treat you nice. Now, usually I would do this next to a sink so I can kind of rinse off all those little pieces of egg, but I'll just do it like this. So that's it. That's my egg ready to be covered up. You could do these a day in advance. If you were going to make these for a party or something of that nature, you could by all means do that in advance. We do that. That's how we do it at the restaurant. Just gonna give it a little tossy toss to dry it. I want that sausage to stick to it nicely. Okay. Now, here comes the all right, so we're going to lay the egg and using the plastic, kind of fold it over the egg. And down. And that's it. And just kind of close it up. Pinch it around. It's okay if you have a little extra. You can kind of evenly do it. You don't want to mash it too hard though. And that's it. So look, wet hands, remember? This out of my way so you can see. And just shape it back, closing that seam into the shape of an egg. Now what I'm gonna do, usually I would set this up in the refrigerator overnight so it would, kind of get cold again, like really cold all the way through and form up. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it in the freezer for like 10 minutes. So I'm gonna take a little break right now and we'll come back to you. So I let my sausage crusted or sausage wrapped egg chill out in the freezer for about 10-15 minutes so it's nice and firm again. Now I just have to bread it very simply. Again, flour, egg, breadcrumb, traditional kind of breading setup. So you just want to roll it in the flour. Now I make my breadcrumbs by taking panko and some fresh herbs and rolling it, I'm rolling it, and putting that in a food processor and grinding it together so you get these beautiful green, herby flavored breadcrumbs. But you can just use regular store-bought or whatever you want. So anyway, roll it in your hands to get the bulk of the flour off. You don't want it too cakey. Keep one hand dry, okay? And just roll it in the egg. And then right into the breadcrumb. Probably not the best bowl scenario, but I was trying to keep it tight for filming. Making a bit of a mess. All good. All good. And that's why you don't want to put your wet hand in there, see? That's all right. Okay. Just rinse my hands off real quick. So like I said, my cooking fat is at about 350. That's where you want to cook these bad boys at. Got my hand off. And they're gonna take about 4 to 5 minutes to cook. Since I don't have a total deep fryer, I'm gonna have to kind of roll it around a bit. But yeah, into the fryer it goes. And again, about 4 or 5 minutes. It's hard to have a timer with these. You really gotta just watch and see how the crust develops. The egg is cooked, so we're not worried about that. I do want that center to be warmed through and that raw pork sausage to obviously be cooked. But other than that, you know, it's not a perfect number. You gotta just watch it and make sure the color is where you want it to be. All right, so we're almost there. The sausage egg, I'm gonna take it out of the hot tub for 1 second just so you can see it. It's getting golden brown. I'm gonna give it about 20 more seconds. I'm going with my instincts on this one, cooking from the heart. Yep. Kill the heat. Cooking from a live audience now. All right, I'll let that just chill right here on a rack. If you don't have one of these, it's okay. You can just rest it on a plate with some paper towels. Anytime I pull anything out of the fryer, I like to set it on a wire rack. It's the same as baking. You want to give some air time to circulate around it. And then just a little bit of flaky sea salt, you know? While it's just sitting there, it's still hot, it's still cooking. I'll let it just rest. Okay, probably. All right, moment of truth. So nervous. Usually I would have 2 or 3 of these things done, you know. But live life on the edge. All right, so now at the restaurant, we usually serve like a harissa aioli or something of that nature. Really, they're good with mustard. They're good on their own. I mean, the yolk is almost a sauce in and of itself. So really, whatever you want to serve it with, you can do it with ketchup. Kind of weird, but whatever. All right. Oh, we're there. Well, luckily I nailed it. Sometimes that's what you got to do with cooking, burn the boats. But yeah, that's your Scotch egg. So, you know, this is a nice little appetizer. You can share it, you can cut it, you know, however you want to cut it. But yeah, man, that's it. So let's dig in. Watch the egg yolk in here.
Best food I've made in my life.
Look at that, look at the yolk, it's jammy. Jammy yolk.
Yep. Eat that all day and every day.